Ladies, tell me this. What happens when Meghan Markle walks into Kris Jenner's 70th birthday party uninvited, poses for photos she later tries to delete, and ends up blocked by Kim Kardashian herself? Because according to multiple insiders, Hollywood watched this night unfold like a slow-motion car crash, and Meghan never saw the hit coming. And honestly, if you walked into a room where every woman already decided they don't like you, what would you do? Let's begin. The night Hollywood held its breath. Picture this, ladies. Beverly Hills shining like a diamond, Kris Jenner turning 70, and Jeff Bezos opening the doors of his mansion for what looked less like a birthday party and more like a coronation. A James Bond fantasy, sleek, black, dripping in power, and planned with military-level precision. Phones locked away. Guest list sealed. Every candle, every camera angle, every detail approved by Kris Jenner herself. And then, Meghan Markle walked in. Not floated. Not glided. Walked in like a spark in a room full of gasoline. Even the insiders said the air shifted instantly. Tell me, ladies, have you ever seen someone enter a room and immediately change the energy? Because that's exactly what happened. Meghan's fight for the invite. Here's where the story gets delicious. Sources say Meghan and Harry didn't receive this invitation effortlessly. Oh no, darling, they fought for it. Multiple texts. Multiple calls. Friendly reminders that weren't really friendly. And allegedly, Meghan led that entire campaign like she was storming the gates of Hollywood heaven. She even leaned on Serena Williams, who's actually close to Kris, to smooth things over. Because we all know this, when Meghan wants to be in a room, she wants to be in the center of it. But here's the uncomfortable truth. According to insiders, neither Kris Jenner nor Jeff Bezos wanted them there. Kris, being the shark she is, keeps distance from drama she can't control. And Bezos? Let's just say billionaires don't love people who attract headlines they didn't approve. Ladies, be honest. Would you have allowed them in if it were your event? Meghan treats the party like a photo shoot. Now, this is where it starts to unravel. Phones were banned. Only the official photographer was allowed to shoot. Everything was meant to be clean, classy, and tightly controlled. But Meghan? She treated that photographer like she was back on the set of Suits shooting a Vogue spread. Posing. Turning. Tilting her chin. Approving photos as they were taken. Yes, approving. Remember that word. Because this is the moment that would turn into the next morning's catastrophe. And the Kardashians? They didn't stop her. Not Kris. Not Kim. Not even their PR people. No one expected Meghan to become a problem. Tell me, would you have said something? Or just let her do her thing? The night turns into a PR disaster. The next morning, Meghan and Harry woke up to a truth they somehow didn't see coming. Kris Jenner's party happened on the eve of Remembrance Day, the UK's most solemn day to honour military sacrifice. So imagine the optics, a British prince and his wife smiling, dancing, posing like overexcited wedding guests, just hours before a national day of mourning. Hollywood whispered. The royals whispered. The public certainly whispered. Suddenly the photos Meghan spent all night approving? Now they were a problem. A big problem. And that's when panic allegedly hit the Sussex camp. Have you ever made a decision that felt right at night, but in the daylight, you wanted to erase it completely? That was Meghan. The request that silenced the room. Calls were made. Messages were sent. And the tone, according to insiders, shifted from "oh, these photos are cute," to "take them down. All of them." And this, ladies, is where the real drama begins. Because you do not tell Kris Jenner to delete photos from her own event. It's like telling the sun to turn itself off. But Meghan tried. And behind the scenes, Kris was furious. Not because of the photos. Not because of the Remembrance Day optics. But because Meghan made Kris Jenner's event look sloppy. For a woman who built an empire on image management? That is the ultimate betrayal. Tell me, ladies, if someone embarrassed you on your birthday, would you forgive them? The silent Kardashian retaliation begins. At first, Meghan and Harry appeared in some photo dumps. Kim even posted a picture with Meghan. But then, slowly, quietly, they vanished. The next round of posts? Gone. Kim's updates? Gone. Kris's highlights? Gone. Erased like they never existed. And Hollywood noticed. Because in Kardashian language, silence is a warning shot. Hollywood feels the shift. Ladies, once those photos disappeared, Hollywood reacted instantly. And trust me, when this industry goes quiet, someone's reputation is in trouble. Producers, publicists, influencers, executives. Everyone started whispering the same thing. Why were Meghan and Harry even at Kris's private event? Page 6 quoted royal insiders calling their appearance tacky. People magazine suddenly wasn't softening their tone. And online, the energy was unmistakable. Meghan had walked into the wrong room on the wrong night. Tell me honestly, have you ever seen someone show up somewhere and make everything about them, even when it wasn't supposed to be? Because that's the exact criticism insiders kept repeating. Hollywood's unwritten rules. See, Hollywood runs on rules that aren't printed anywhere. Rules you feel rather than read. You don't upstage the host. You don't rewrite the night's narrative. You don't crash milestone events. And above all, you do not disrespect Kris Jenner. This woman has built billion-dollar brands from her kitchen counter. She negotiates harder than most CEOs. She controls every room she walks into. Kris isn't just a momager, she's a strategist. So when Meghan arrived overly enthusiastic, shaky on etiquette, camera happy, and then tried to erase the evidence the next morning, it crossed a line. Not because Kris hated her, but because Kris protects her brand the way some people protect their children. Ladies, tell me, if someone ignored your boundaries at your own birthday, how long would you remember it? Be honest. Unpredictability is a liability. Hollywood can handle divas. It can handle ego. It can handle troublemakers. But what it does not handle well is unpredictability. And according to insiders, that's how Meghan's behavior was perceived. The posing. The panic. The deletion attempt. The sudden shift from confidence to crisis. Unpredictable. And in this industry, unpredictability isn't exciting, it's a liability. Kris Jenner does not keep liabilities close. She keeps them far away, silent, and outside the frame. Just like she did with Meghan. Have you ever had someone in your life who was unpredictable, and eventually you just stepped back for your own peace? That's exactly what happened here. The Kardashian erase. Here's where the night went from bad to brutal. Meghan wasn't confronted. She wasn't publicly called out. There was no dramatic showdown. No angry statement. What happened was far worse. She was erased. Deleted posts. No mentions. No photos. No second chances. The Kardashians didn't yell. They didn't clap back. They didn't gossip. They simply removed her from the narrative. And, ladies, let's be honest, a woman choosing silence over confrontation? That's when you know she's truly done. Ask yourself, which hurts more, being yelled at or being ignored? Meghan realizes the door is closed. By the time the silence settled, insiders say Meghan understood exactly what had happened. She had walked into a world she assumed wanted her. A world she thought she could charm, pose, and navigate like a ladder she could climb. But that night, inside Bezos's mansion, the ladder disappeared. Because Hollywood doesn't let you climb if the room already decided you don't belong on the roof. Invitations slowed. Whispers grew louder. The spotlight dimmed. Not because Meghan wasn't trying, but because powerful rooms, Kardashian rooms, had quietly closed their doors. Have you ever felt a room go cold toward you? You don't need anyone to say it, you just know. That's the energy Meghan walked out with. Kim Kardashian makes her move. Now, here is the part everyone is talking about backstage. After the photo deletion drama, after the fallout, after the freezing silence, Kim Kardashian allegedly blocked Meghan Markle. Not publicly. Not dramatically. Just a clean, silent boundary. Sources said Kim was furious that Meghan turned Kris's milestone event into a PR problem, especially on the eve of a solemn Remembrance Day. Kim felt Meghan treated the party like a press opportunity, and then tried to control the narrative afterward. And Kim? She doesn't play games like that. Blocking Meghan wasn't petty. It wasn't emotional. It wasn't jealous. It was strategic. Kim only blocks what threatens her peace, her brand, or her mother's reputation. And ladies, wouldn't you do the same? The question Hollywood is still asking. Now here's where we end, ladies, with the question every insider keeps whispering. What happens the next time Meghan Markle steps into a room full of people who already decided she's not one of them? Because Hollywood remembers. Kris Jenner remembers. The Kardashian system remembers. And Meghan? She now walks into every room carrying the weight of the last one. The door isn't locked. But it is no longer open. Not freely. Not easily. Not anymore. If you were Kris Jenner, would you have forgiven Meghan, or erased her quietly just like this? Tell me in the comments, I read every single one. And if you want more deep, behind-the-scenes Hollywood truths like this, make sure you subscribe, like, and hit that bell, because the next chapter in Meghan's Hollywood story is coming, and trust me, you'll want to hear it first.